Welcome back, everybody. As always, my name is Mario, and this is Rise Above. If this is your first time joining me, welcome. I created this channel a while back because I wanted to speak to anybody that was in the same place, in the same boat I was in just a few years ago. I was going down a dark hole of addiction, of alcoholism, of depression, feeling like a failure as a father, as a husband, as a son. That's no longer the case. And even though what I've come to realize is that there was greatness inside of me and that there's greatness inside of all of you that everybody can access. However, sometimes we need a guiding voice to help us weather the storm and get through the mud. And that's what I want to be for you, because I was very much blessed to have had God put things in my life and have certain things happen that allowed me to free myself. And now that I'm approaching 4 years of living a sober, intentional, life that has meaning, that's full of love and full of purpose, I also understand that I have a responsibility to pay it forward and to help anybody out there that needs the help I did at one point. Let's see, we got to keep a couple people on here. Hope y'all stay blessed. Now, I named today's episode Why Your Why Has to Be Strong Enough to Weather the Storm. The reason I named it, the reason why I titled it is because my journey began with a why. And my why was strong enough from the get-go to not only snap me out of the depression, out of the funk, out of the addiction I was in, but it's been what I've been able to use as my anchor, as my lifesaver, to pull me out of multiple storms that life has thrown my way in the last 4 years, that has kept me on the narrow path. And I hope in this episode I'm able to provide not just some insight in my own journey that can help you out, but some real, actual tools and tips that you can use to help you find your why, and that you can use when you're going through tough times. Because even when you're living a life, I'm Turkish. What's going on, Turkish? I'm sorry. What's going on, Ice? Hope everything is well in Turkey. You see, you have to understand that even when you start living a life that's now one that's full of value, that's one that you're actually proud of, that you can hold your head up high, it's still going to come with its own set of problems. And the truth is, it more than likely is going to be bigger problems than you originally had. And this is why You have to make sure that the reason why you decided to change, why you decided to improve your life, was strong enough to not only pull you out, pull you out of the fog, pull you out of the life that you didn't want anymore, but more importantly, that every time you're going through something, that you'll be able to use this to pull you out. Actually, you know what? I need to put my headphones on. Hope that's a little better for everybody. Now, just to give you a little context, a little background into my story, my journey started with a moment, literally a vision that I prayed for the night before. You see, when I was slowly dying, oh, I'm sorry, let me back that up. Not slowly, quickly actually dying and killing myself, not just with alcohol, but with the negative thoughts that I couldn't seem to stop have running through my head. You see, God gave me a blessing. It came in the form of a vision, and that vision was what I labeled as my why I needed to change then and there. Why all the excuses, all the reasons I had made as to why everything was hopeless literally disappeared in a second. What's going on? You are busy. What's going on, Morant? You see, for me, my sobriety, my change came in 2022, 2 years after the COVID lockdown in Los Angeles. And even though it had already been 2 years, the truth was I had a young daughter that before the shutdowns happened was very excited to start going into daycare, to go to preschool, because she's always just been a very social kid ever since she was a baby. She's just always loved being around other kids and other people. And just by her watching Peppa Pig and all these shows she would watch as a kid, where she would see that they go to school, she already had it in her head that this is something that she was looking forward to. So when they shut everything down in COVID, including the parks, it broke my heart for her. So now fast forward 2 years, I have a baby. I've lost two jobs because of the shutdown. I've been killing myself drinking. My finances have totally gone down the drain, and I don't see a way out. The only way out is the coward's way that I'm seeing. So I'm literally telling God the night before, I'm begging him on my couch, which was now my new bed, because I wasn't allowed to sleep in the room with my wife and my kids because of how bad my drinking had gotten. And I remember telling God this was not the first time that I was coming to him, but luckily it was the last time that I came to him for this reason. And I told him, God, I am done. I am done trying to figure this out. Please just either kill me already and let my family move on without me because they don't deserve this, or save me, please. The next morning when I woke up, It was going to be another morning like the rest had been, which is my wife would wake up around 9. She would come out of the room. We would then swap places. I would go into the bedroom in my own funk, start figuring out how I was going to be able to make enough that day to put a little food on the table and to keep continuing buying bottles of alcohol, bottles of liquor, if I'm being honest. And that morning I lay down and I literally closed my eyes for 1 second. All it took was 1 second. Let me see, I see somebody writing on here. I don't, nothing. You only talk. You only talk. What's discussion? I'm not sure what that means, but okay. And in that second, I had a vision that I can still see it now. I can close my eyes and see it. And it was my oldest daughter, a little bit older than she was at the time. And she's got her backpack on. She's got a little school uniform on, and she's standing in front of an elementary school. And I can see that it's her first day of school, and she's so excited to be there. And it's obvious that she's taking a picture. So I have to imagine that it was my wife taking this picture of her, and I wasn't in this picture. And my brain literally was able to translate that in a matter of a second or two to understand that if I continued on the path that I was on, I wasn't going to be around to see my daughters grow up. I wasn't even going to be around to see them on their first day of school. And I whispered her name out as if something had shook me to my core. Something did shake me to my core. God shook me to my core at that moment. Now everything I'm telling you here is 1,000% true. I sat up in that moment. I sat up and I said, "That's it. I'm done. I am done." I hadn't lost all the craving for alcohol, but all of a sudden my why I needed to stop drinking became strong. That emotion became stronger than the emotion of saying I couldn't stop drinking. And I jumped up, and the first thing I did was I jumped into a cold shower. From there, it led me to do other things that helped me continue my sobriety on day one, and I just took it one day at a time from there. The reason I'm telling you guys all this is because if you're looking to change, if you're looking to get out of your addiction, if you're looking to get out of a situation that you think is unmanageable, that there's no way out, there's always a way out. There's always a way to fix things, but you need to become very clear and emotionally aware of why it is that you need to fix the things now in order to avoid a greater pain down the road. And if you can envision what your life will look like if you don't change, I promise you, if you can find the right reason, whether it's your kids, your parents, a brother, a sister, whatever it may be, it could be for yourself. If you can use that to pull you out of the funk that you're in right now, And from then, hold on to that every time that voice creeps up that's telling you to go back to the life you had, or even worse, to try to trick you and tell you to reward yourself for the progress you've made with doing the one thing that you've given up doing, and to lie to yourself and tell you it's okay because it's only going to be this one time. And I'm telling you because I've been there in the past where I got sober for a few days and I told myself, oh, you know what? I feel great now. My mind is clear. I'm going to reward myself, stupidly enough, with a drink. And then I would fall back into the same bullshit routine. The same disappointments would come to my family. It was just over and over and over again. But all those times that I tried giving up drinking and failed, I can see now that I was not crystal clear with the biggest reason of why I needed to stop drinking. And it wasn't so I can make more money. It wasn't so I can get in shape. All those things came as a result of me not drinking. But my why, my big why, my northern star was the simple fact that I was going to be putting this burden, this trauma on my young daughters that I never said I would, and having them grow up with the idea that their dad didn't love them enough to change and give up the one thing that was killing him. You see, if you can frame your thoughts and your why into something as powerful as that, you're going to see that your mind is then going to start looking for the answers to keep you in that mindset, to help you instead of hurting you. And occasionally, your old mind, your monkey mind, will creep in and try to trip you up. And every time it does, you need to go back to your why and remind yourself what your life was like before you changed and what your life will be like if you fail and you stop now. Can you do that? Can you shut out the voices, not just in your head, but the voices all around you that are going to give you every reason why you can't? All of these things are storms that are going to come into your life and try to take you down. And every time these things come up, if you have a why that's strong and clear enough, you can hold on to it. It can be your anchor that keeps you grounded. And most importantly, it'll give you the faith that you need, not just in you, but in God, that He's got you. And that even though on paper it may not appear much has changed, you know that you're now operating on a different level. I don't nothing. Okay. Can you work on your why? Can you write out 10 reasons of the things you want to change in your life? And then out of those 10 reasons, find the one that sticks out at you, the one that pulls at your heart. Circle that and then get a new piece of paper. And then write out at the very top what would happen in 1 year if you don't change. You see, if you can write these things down and actually allow yourself to see these things as realities, you'll find that you make all your goals that much more obtainable. At the end of the day, the only one that's going to save you is you. It's not going to be your family. It's not going to be the government. None of these things are going to truly rescue you from the hell you call your life. They might throw a bone at you. They might pull you out of a situation short term. But the truth is, if you're not able to get honest with yourself and tell yourself why this change needs to happen now, you'll be looking for someone to rescue you the rest of your life. And when you do that, you're literally giving other people the keys to the vehicle of your life and letting them drive and sometimes drive you off the cliff. So can you find your why and make it strong enough so you can jump in the driver's seat and start navigating and becoming responsible of where your life goes from here on out? The storms are going to come. Trouble is always going to come. Nobody has a perfect life. But the difference between successful people and people that are unsuccessful are that successful people understand that it's not the size of the problem that's going to dictate the quality of your life, but the amount of knowledge, of faith, of stillness that you're able to work on and be conscious of to withhold any obstacle that comes through. And even more importantly, be aware of the fact that with these obstacles comes more change and more growth, because as you're able to keep putting yourself out of situations that once would have either sent you into a deep depression, that would have had you making excuses, whatever the case may be, you simply would not have been willing to take it on head on. But that's not you anymore. And I can promise you that when you figure out that why, of why you must change, It's going to be incredible how little to none, you're going to truly care, and you're going to see how little of importance it is of what people say and think and do when it comes to your life and your transformation. As I said, if your why is strong enough, you're going to withstand every storm, and you're going to do it from a place of faith and humbleness, to where you can say, God has a greater plan for me. So the situation I'm in right now is just temporary. This is not my life. This is not who I am anymore. So I hope somebody. I hope I served someone purpose with this video. I want to thank you guys as always. We're close to 100 subscribers. I'm very excited about that because I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would have 100 people subscribe to my YouTube channel, and that hopefully within that 100, that at the very least, at least one, if not many, many more, have not only gotten value, but have been able to actually make a real change in their life based off the content that we produce here. As usual, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know there's a link on our channel that goes to the ebook that I wrote that gives you the tools that I used on my first day of sobriety, that I've continued to use and expand on to this day. So I want you guys to take care of your mind, take care of your body, and most importantly, take care of your spirit, and not let anybody break you, regardless of who they are in your life. No one gets to dictate the outcome of your life. No one gets to tell you that you're too poor, you're too big, or you're too slow to accomplish something. All of those are limited beliefs that other people have grown up with and that they're now trying to indoctrinate you with. So I hope everybody gets something from this. And as always, please make sure to hit that like button. If you're interested in more videos such as this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Check it out. All right, everybody, take care.